Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to show you how to remove an old electric water heater from your garage or whatever room yours is in. I'm also going to show you how to install a brand new electric water heater. I got mine from Home Depot. It's called a Remy. It's called a Rheem, R-H-E-E-M. So mine is a 50-gallon, 4,500 watt, 240 volt. Mine stands, I think it's like 59 inches high, and it's like diameter is, I want to say 23, something like that. I wanted to get a shorter one, but my plumbing is set up for the tall one, so I went ahead and got that. It was like 30 bucks difference. No, 20 bucks difference. Total cost was like 600 bucks, maybe a little bit under that. That's including tax, that's out the door. Let's get to it. The first thing that you want to do before you work on your hot water heater, your electric hot water heater, is you want to come over here to your circuit board, and you want to find where it says water heater. All right, this says water heater. You make sure it's on off. Okay, that's what you do very first. Why? Because you don't want to get electrocuted. That's why. Once you get done turning the hot water heater off, what you're going to want to do, there should be like some kind of straps around the old water heater that hold it into place. It's actually a code violation if you don't have it on there. Big old code violation. Don't ask me how I know that, I just do. Learn that on the internet. This is all strapped up. You're going to take that off. I already took one off. It looks like they did a pretty messy job, whoever did it before me. July 15th, 2002. Right now it's 2025. That's like 25 years old. This thing lasted 25 years. And guess what? I never once released the valve. I know you're supposed to do that like every year. I didn't know. I didn't do it at all. Also, you're supposed to drain it every so often, right? Because if you don't set, and we're on a well also, so sediment builds up in the bottom of that tank, and it fills up so much. I actually opened that drain. There's so much buildup on the bottom. Look, I have that thing fully open and nothing, like barely anything is coming out. That means there is a lot of sediment buildup in the bottom of this tank. I'm not even totally sure how I'm gonna drain it right now. I think I'm gonna drag it outside and then just bust that old plastic bib off there. See how much sludge is in there. So anyway, yeah, so you want to get busy with this right here, taking this thing off. Sometimes you can do it by hand, whatever, you'll figure it out. It's easy. Washer and a nut, pull out. So I'm actually gonna leave this washer and this nut on here because I'm gonna put, I think I'll put the same strap on the new tank, except I'm gonna do it a little cleaner so it's neat. Looks like kind of trashy. There are 4 items that I need to disconnect on this tank, and here's what they are. There's the electrical, there's the water intake, okay, so that comes from the well, and then there's the hot water exit, right? So this water goes into the house. It feeds all the hot water in the house. And then my pressure valve, I'm gonna unsolder this, pull this line out, and then unscrew this valve right here. So those are the 4 items that we're gonna have to do. So this is the water line that comes out of the tank after the water has been heated in the tank. It sends the water into the rest of the house. This comes from the well. So this right here has the power to turn the water on and off. So the water comes into the tank from this. I can turn it off or I can turn it on. So right now I've completely turned it off, so it does not continue to feed this tank. This nut right here is 1 inch, and I think it's 7 or 1/8. Yeah, it's 1 inch and 1/8 on this old wrench. We're gonna loosen this. I'll be able to do it by hand. Okay, bend that up. So I forgot to tell you that I went inside and I opened up the hot water so that there would be some airflow when I took this off, just to empty the lines. Let's go ahead and remove the water intake. Some water coming out, bend that up. All right, bend that up so it doesn't pour all over me, even though this is closed. So technically there's no water coming through because this is closed. We've got our water disconnected. Now I need to disconnect the electrical. So yes, and remember, the electrical is off from the main, so there's no, and I already tested it, okay? I tested it with my multimeter. If you don't know how to test that, then go look it up on the internet. So next, I'm going to remove the electrical, bringing power to the thermostat and the element. There is an upper thermostat and element, and there is a lower, okay? So now I'm going to disconnect the power. Looks like I need to take this plate off. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 small screws. So here we go. Looks like this whole thing just kind of comes out. I'm going to actually test these wires one more time and see if there's heat in them. If they're not hot, just kidding. I'll pull this line up and it'll be disconnected from the tank. So it's literally 2 nuts, red to red, black to black. We're disconnect this. Okay, I got this out of the way for now. Got those disconnected. We've got the electrical right here, and it's turned off at the main, so there's no electricity coming through these wires, okay? I make a good practice of not touching that stuff, even though I know there's no power, I still make a point of a practice of not touching that. This is my last item I'm going to remove. Nothing like a nice tool to cut your pipe and get a nice, clean, square cut. Okay, guys, we've got everything disconnected. We have the pressure valve disconnected. We have the electricity disconnected. And we have both water lines disconnected. That is 4 items. Now, since I can't drain this tank because of the sediment buildup, I'm going to drag this thing out of the garage. It won't be that bad, be easy. This is the new water heater. So now I'm going to show you how to install an electric water heater, 50-gallon, a Rheem from Home Depot. I'm going to show you how to install this thing. It basically came in a box, super easy to bring home and remove from the box. Yep. So basically we're gonna hook this thing up. We're gonna put it in that corner after I clean it up because it's pretty nasty right now. We've got our new water heater put in place. I cleaned the floor up real nice. I basically put some granite as a thermal barrier, or a thermal break rather, between the concrete and the new tank. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move up here, and I already have some Teflon tape, or it's like this, I don't know if it's Teflon, I think it is, pretty sure it is. I already got one on that nipple. That is for the cold water coming in to the tank. And this one is for the hot water exiting the tank. So at this point, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this, looks like Best sealing tape. That's what it's called. It doesn't say Teflon. It's not white. It's like this gray color. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on here clockwise, okay, righty-tighty. I'm gonna put it on here clockwise because I want nice and tight, because what I want to, when I screw that nut onto here, I want this to be going the same direction as the nut, right? So when I put that nut down onto this nipple, I am going to be turning it righty-tighty, right? That's the same direction as I put the tape on there. So if I were to put the tape on this way, right, and then I put the nut on this way to the right, there's a chance that it's gonna catch and it's gonna fold that way. So I don't want that to happen. So I put it on righty-tighty, just like I'm gonna put the nut on there. Okay, so I've got the cold water intake, right? This line that I'm connecting right now is the line that is going to bring the cold water from the well into this tank. So all this is done. We've got the cold water in and the hot water out, both connected. Now we have not connected the pressure valve yet. So next step is to fill this tank with water. But before I do that, I am going to give this make sure this is snug. I'm just gonna tighten it up if I can. Make sure that it's all dialed in. It came from the manufacturer. Feels like it's pretty tight. Okay guys, it's time to turn this water on. Make sure there's no leaks. I don't see any leaks on there yet. Well, hopefully none come in. And we'll let this thing fill up. So here we go. Okay guys, it is time to install the electrical. We're gonna take this existing plate off. Remember to take note of how this plate is located, or where this plate is located, how it's located on here. So don't forget. Looks like this piece is going underneath this one. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. Okay, so quick note. I had to take the old plate, see that plate right there? I had to take the old one off and add that, put the new one on and connect the ground, as you can see right there, okay? It's the green screw, that's a ground. So I'm gonna use the old nuts to connect those two wires from the new tank into those two wires coming out of the main, okay? So before I do that though, I'm going to open this panel and this panel to check and make sure my thermostat is set at about 120, 125. I think they recommended 120, but I might do 125. We'll see how it goes. All right, looks like we've got 2 Phillip head screws. We'll go ahead and take those out. Okay, looks like some insulation. You'll have to lift this little cover. Mine broke just now, whatever. I'll put it back, it'll stay. My thermostat is set at, 120. That looks good. Go ahead and just put it right back. Take your insulation, put it back in there, so don't want it to get cold. The long-awaited electricity install. We are going to use a wing nut to connect the 2 red wires, and we are going to use a wing nut, to connect the 2 black wires. Here we go. Bam. Let's try that. Okay, there. Boom. All right. Now it's time to test this thing out. Before we lock it all up, we need to test it and see if the electricity is working. So so we're gonna go turn the breaker on and see where we're at. Water heater is off. We're going to turn it on. I got all of the plate back together. I got my ground wire out, and I'm putting my ground screw back down nice and tight. And I already tested the electricity, and it was good, and it already heated the water. So I wanted to wait and make sure I knew that the electricity and all that was going to work before I put this plate back on. So there you go, it's all done. So this is how you install an electric water heater. Thank you guys for joining in. See you next time.